I'm Dr. Ruhita Atle. I am a child and adult psychiatrist. I've done my post-graduation from KEM Hospital and have been practicing now for the past 10 years. For the lockdown, I had my own private clinic. I was working in Vikhroli, Bhandup and Mulund. So I had 3 OPDs. Morning time, I would work around 6 to 7 hours in consultation. And evening, I would have a 2-hour consultation. So I used to spend most of my time, doing counseling and, one-on-one chatting with the patient, spending as much time to solve their problems. Also, I see a lot of children, so I would do a lot of study-related activities, parenting issues, dealing with school problems, behavior problems, etc. After the lockdown, I can't spend so much time in the clinic because it would increase the risk of infections to my patient. So I've shifted majorly to phone consultations and video call based counseling and audio calls or normal calls, and also WhatsApp messaging based counseling sessions I do. Actually, the major change that I've seen that a lot of my stable patients or the patients who were on the path of recovery have started showing increased symptoms, especially related to anxiety, sleeplessness, increased thoughts, worrying about the future, etc. Number of patients is more or less the same, but yes, I'm getting a lot of new patients who have started having recent symptoms. Starting from the last 1 month, problems in the last 1 or 2 months, or problems related to COVID, basically after losing jobs or having an illness in the family. So those kind of patients have increased. So the one major thing in healthcare workers is that they are short-staffed. They are working for 3 or 4 people in the current situation because of increased burden on the healthcare system. It's a war out there for the healthcare workers, and they are the soldiers. So that is one of the major stressors that they are fighting every day. Second thing is there's a lot of uncertainty. The illness has no definite cure or treatment or vaccine, so they can't really offer much except supportive care. There's their own safety and fear of contacting illness. And like I said, because the illness doesn't have any treatment, what if I get the illness, I can always pass on to my family and who might be at a higher risk than other people's family workers. Yourself. You are most important. If you are well, only then you will be able to take care of the others. So take help. Wherever it is possible, take help. Don't try to do too many things at a time. Whatever you can do, you do. Whatever you can't, ask for help. Delegate the responsibilities. Also focus on having good meals, sleeping well, because that is going to energize your body. Talk about your problems, your anxieties and stressors to a trusted person. Not everybody seems to understand what they are going through. So somebody who understands, somebody who knows, if possible, if needed, take help of a professional. Also decrease your exposure to the media, because the media right now is in a phase of constant fear mongering. So decreasing or limiting your exposure to the media will also help you focus on what is important and not fall prey to rumors and the unnecessary information that we are getting through media. What I do is I have stopped watching the news on TV. I read most of my news because the visual input is too disturbing. Second thing, the visual input, the audio input is repetitive. It hammers on your brain one thing at a time for 100 times. And that is, that increases your worries, that increases your anxiety, decreases your focus. So what I do is I read most of my news. And second thing is I spend 10 minutes a day for myself. without all this media, without anything, it can be focusing on music, it can be doing my to-do list for the day, it can be reading up on something, but something that I want to do, not something that I have to do or it's a part of my duty. So something that gives me pleasure for at least 10 minutes a day, anytime. I wouldn't be taking names, but the recent deaths of police officers, I have a few patients who are police officers, and that has affected their morale a lot. So the anxieties and panic attacks have increased among the police force. Also, the nursing staff of various hospitals that I visit have a lot of increasing concerns about their safety, which affects their performance, I would say. So if you are constantly afraid that what patient might give you infection, you're not going to look after the patient that well. So I'm seeing that in the healthcare workers more frequently these days. Thing is, yes, proper protective equipment, proper protective gear, treating every patient as if they are positive. That is the best safety that you can take. Even if the person is known to you, even if the person has been there in the hospital for 5 days or whatever, everybody should be treated as infected and acted accordingly. Also, you should treat yourself as highest risk of infection and take all the necessary and adequate precautions. So that will cut down on your anxiety. Second thing, writing down all the negative and troublesome thoughts helps a lot. Whenever you are having all these repetitive, troublesome, tiring thoughts about your health, the concerns for your family, writing them down helps organize your thoughts and reduces your anxiety. Right now, the first message I would want to give them is anxiety is normal. In this situation, everybody is anxious. So do not worry too much because you're feeling anxious or because you're having a lot of negative thoughts or because you're having depressive thoughts. That is the situation right now. It is the new normal. Where you need to get concerned is if it is affecting your performance and if it is, getting you down personally. Sit around, think what you need, take professional help if needed. Psychiatrists are also doctors, so don't be afraid in meeting one, taking help from one. Medications, counseling, everything is helpful in the anxiety situation. This pandemic is something that we have never seen before. None of us has experienced this in our lifetime. So it is a learning opportunity for everybody. And wherever needed, we should take as much help as possible. Do not be afraid to take help, and be sure that even if you need help, it may not be permanent, because when the situation changes, you might be able to adjust better.